Am I the jerk for not letting my neighbor's kids use my pool whenever they want? So here's the story. I'm a 29-year-old homeowner, and earlier this year, I made a huge investment in my property. I installed an in-ground backyard pool. It wasn't cheap. Between the pool itself, the landscaping, the fence, and all the safety features, it cost me a pretty big chunk of my savings. For context, I don't come from a wealthy family. I've been working since I was 16, saving every extra dollar, skipping vacations, and budgeting carefully just to afford both my house and eventually the pool. It was always a dream of mine because growing up, my family never had one. We'd only get to swim at public pools once in a while, and I promised myself that one day I'd have my own. Finally, this spring, my dream came true. I was thrilled. I love hosting friends, swimming in the evenings, and just relaxing by the water. It's my favorite part of the house. Now, here's where things get messy. I live in a suburban neighborhood where most people know each other casually. My next-door neighbors are a couple in their late 30s with 3 kids, ages 6, 9, and 11. They're nice enough, and we've always been friendly, waving hello, chatting about the weather, things like that. Well, the second they saw the pool being installed, the kids got really excited. I didn't think much of it at first, but once summer started, it became clear they expected free access to it. The first time, the kids came over and rang my doorbell asking if they could swim. I was caught off guard but didn't want to seem rude, so I said sure, but only for a little while, and your parents need to be here to supervise. They swam for about an hour, made a mess of pool toys, and left. No big deal, I figured. But then it became constant. Almost every day, especially on weekends, the kids would show up asking, "Can we use your pool?" Sometimes they'd even bring a friend from down the street without warning. At first, I tried to be accommodating, but the responsibility quickly became overwhelming. I had to worry about safety, liability, and cleaning up afterward. Not to mention, I actually wanted to enjoy the pool myself, not constantly have it full of neighborhood kids. So, I set a rule. No one can use the pool without me inviting them first. I told the parents politely, "Hey, I'm happy to have the kids over occasionally, but it's not an open pool. I can't have them just showing up whenever." The parents did not take it well. They said I was being selfish and stingy because, in their words, the kids just want to have fun. They argued that since I'm single and don't have kids, the pool is just sitting there and used half the time anyway, and letting their kids swim doesn't hurt me. I disagreed. First of all, it's my property. Second, pools come with risks. If, heaven forbid, one of their kids got hurt while swimming unsupervised, guess who would be legally responsible? Me. That's terrifying. But the situation escalated. One Saturday, I came home from running errands to find the neighbor's kids in my pool without permission. Apparently, they hopped the fence. I told them immediately to get out and marched next door to talk to their parents. Instead of apologizing, the parents acted annoyed with me. They said, "Well, if you didn't want kids in your pool, you shouldn't have put one in." I couldn't believe it. They basically argued that by owning a pool, I was automatically obligated to share it with the neighborhood. Since then, I've locked the pool gate and even put up a sign that says, "Private pool, no trespassing." But now, I'm being seen as the mean neighbor. Other parents on the street have hinted that I should be more generous, and the kids have started calling me selfish when they see me outside. To make matters worse, my dad thinks I might be overreacting. He said, "They're just kids. Would it really hurt to let them swim a few times a week?" My mom, on the other hand, is firmly on my side and says I shouldn't let anyone guilt-trip me into sharing something I worked so hard for. I've been thinking about this nonstop. I know pools are exciting for kids, especially if their family doesn't have one. But at the same time, just because something looks fun doesn't mean you're automatically entitled to it. For example, my neighbor down the street has a trampoline. Do I get to just show up with my friends and jump on it whenever I feel like it? No, that would be ridiculous. The same logic should apply here. Another concern, maintenance. Pools are expensive to keep clean. Between chlorine, filters, electricity for the pump, and just where every swim session costs me money. It's not like letting kids use it as free for me. And after the kids leave, I often find toys scattered around, muddy footprints on the deck, and sometimes even food wrappers. That adds to my workload. Also, the liability issue keeps me up at night. If one of them slipped, hit their head, or worse, I could be sued. I've read horror stories of homeowners losing everything because someone got hurt in their pool, even if they weren't invited. That's not a risk I'm willing to take. What really stings is the attitude of entitlement. If the parents had come to me politely, asked occasionally, and offered to supervise or even ship in for pool maintenance, maybe I'd feel differently. But instead, they act like it's my duty to let their kids swim. That doesn't sit right with me. At this point, I've considered installing security cameras or even raising the fence higher, just so I don't have to worry about trespassing.